If you've never felt the weight of the storm, you will never know the strength of your own wings. Life does not break you, my dear. It bends you, it stretches you, it teaches you, and then it shows you that you are stronger than you ever believed. There is something sacred about the struggles we face. They are not punishments. They are not curses. They are the sculptors of our soul. Too many people spend their lives wishing their hardships away, not realizing that the very thing they are fighting against is the very thing shaping them into greatness. If you listen closely, every trial has a whisper. I am not here to destroy you. I am here to reveal you. Stay with me, because before this message ends, you will begin to see your struggles not as enemies, but as teachers. And once you see them this way, nothing in life will ever break you again. Struggle is the mirror life holds before us. It does not flatter. It does not lie. It reflects with sharp honesty who we truly are when everything we thought we depended on is stripped away. When the road is smooth, it is easy to carry yourself with grace. When the sun shines and the breeze is gentle, it is easy to smile and speak with kindness. But when the storm rises, when the winds howl against your house, when the ground shakes beneath your feet, then the mirror appears. It shows you the raw, unpolished truth of your spirit. It reveals what remains when comfort, certainty, and ease are taken away. People often pray for a life without struggle, imagining that ease will bring them peace. But what ease truly brings is the illusion of strength. Only when the fire comes do you know what your heart is made of. Only when you are pressed, stretched, and tested do you discover the dimensions of your courage. Struggle uncovers the strength you did not even know was sleeping within you. It whispers, you are more than you thought you were. Think of the times you have been brought to your knees, those nights when sleep would not come because the weight on your chest was too heavy, those days when you looked in the mirror and did not recognize the weary face staring back. Yet somehow, even in that exhaustion, you rose. You put one foot in front of the other. You carried on when you swore you could not. That is the reflection of who you truly are. Not the smile you wear when life is easy, but the endurance you find when life is ruthless. The mirror of struggle does not show perfection. It does not reveal a flawless image. Instead, it reveals resilience. It shows the cracks, the scars, the bruises, and then it shows that you are still here, still breathing, still capable of love, of laughter, of hope. Those scars are not shame, they are proof. Proof that you stood before the storm and did not surrender. Proof that life may have bent you, but it did not break you. There is a power in looking into that mirror and embracing what you see. Because struggle does not only show you your strength, it also shows you your weakness. It reveals the fears you must face, the habits you must release, the lies you can no longer tell yourself. Struggle strips away the masks, the excuses, the illusions. It asks you, will you be honest with yourself now? Will you grow from what you see? And if you dare to answer yes, then every hardship becomes an invitation to transformation. Consider the oak tree standing tall in the field. When the winds are gentle, its strength is hidden. You might think it is just another tree. But when the storm rages, when lightning cracks and rain pounds the earth, that is when its true nature is revealed. Its roots hold deep, its trunk refuses to fall, its branches bend without breaking. In that moment, you see its strength, you see its truth. The same is true for you. Without the storm, your resilience remains unseen. Without struggle, the mirror remains empty. Every great soul you have ever admired was forged in struggle. No poet, no leader, no dreamer rose to greatness without first staring into that mirror. They met their fear. They met their despair. They met the voice that whispered, "You are not enough." And they chose to rise anyway. Their struggle revealed their depth, their perseverance, their faith, and so will yours. You may think you are failing when the struggle feels too heavy. You may think your tears mean weakness, but tears are the reflection of your humanity, not the denial of your strength. They are water cleansing the spirit, making space for new courage to grow. You do not fail when you stumble. You fail only when you refuse to rise. And if you are still rising, if you are still trying, then the mirror of struggle is showing something extraordinary. It is showing that you are alive with resilience. There is a story told in every heart, a story that cannot be seen in times of comfort. It is the story of endurance. It is the story of courage. It is the story of the nights you thought you would not survive, but did. Struggle writes that story in bold ink across your life. And when you look back, you will see not just pain, you will see how the struggle revealed your strength, your compassion, your ability to love despite the losses. What is revealed in that mirror is not only for you. Your strength becomes a light for others who are still in darkness. When they see you standing, scarred but unbroken, they see a reflection of what is possible for them. Your courage becomes a mirror for their own potential. Your resilience whispers to them, you can survive too. You can rise too. In this way, your struggle not only reveals you to yourself, it reveals hope to the world. The mirror of struggle is relentless, but it is also merciful. Because while it shows you the hard truth of your spirit, it also reminds you that you are far more capable than you imagined. Every time you face it, you walk away with a deeper knowing of who you are. You walk away with a strength that no one can take from you. You walk away understanding that life cannot destroy you because you have already stared into the mirror and seen the unbreakable core within. So do not curse the mirror. Do not despise the struggle. Look into it with open eyes. See the pain, yes, but also see the courage. See the weakness, but also see the resilience. See the scars, but also see the survival. For what the struggle reflects back to you is not failure, not defeat, but the undeniable truth. You are stronger than you knew, braver than you believed, and more enduring than the world ever expected. Pain is not the enemy. Though it comes uninvited, though it grips your chest and weighs on your shoulders, it is not here without reason. It carries within it a message, a lesson, a gift. We often believe that pain is sent to punish us, that it signals weakness, or that it means life has betrayed us. But pain is the teacher of teachers. It is the chisel that carves away what no longer serves you. It is the fire that purifies, the storm that clears the air, the weight that strengthens your spirit. Without it, growth would be shallow, fragile, incomplete. With it, you are stretched, deepened, remade into someone who cannot be shaken by the ordinary storms of life. Every person who has walked this earth has known pain, yet many run from it, deny it, hide it behind smiles and distractions. But pain will not be ignored. It speaks in silence, in sleepless nights, in tears that fall without warning. It demands to be acknowledged because it has a purpose. It comes not to end you, but to awaken you. It arrives as a signal that something within you or around you needs to shift. And if you dare to listen, pain will become your most faithful guide. Think of how a seed breaks before it grows. Beneath the soil, in the darkness, the shell of that seed cracks open. It is a breaking, and yet without that breaking, no life would emerge. Pain is like that crack. It feels destructive, but it is the very doorway through which new life begins. You cannot be born into greater strength without it. You cannot discover the fullness of your courage until pain presses you to the edge and demands that you rise. Consider the refining of gold. Raw gold, as it is pulled from the earth, is mixed with rock, dust, and impurities. To make it shine, to reveal its beauty, it must be placed in fire. The fire does not destroy it, it reveals it. Pain is that fire in your life. It burns away illusions, burns away what is shallow, burns away the masks you wear. And though it feels unbearable in the moment, when the flames subside, what is left is purer, stronger, more radiant than before. There are moments when pain feels endless, when it seems to have no meaning at all. In those moments, it is easy to believe that you are cursed. But if you look back at the times you once thought you would never survive, you will see the quiet truth. You are not the same person you were before those struggles. You grew wiser. You grew more compassionate. You learned how to stand when everything within you wanted to fall. Pain left fingerprints on your soul, and those marks became maps, guiding you into deeper wisdom. Pain teaches empathy in a way that comfort never could. When you have cried the tears of loss, you recognize those same tears in the eyes of another. When you have carried a heavy burden, you notice the slump in the shoulders of those walking beside you. Pain softens the heart even as it strengthens the spirit. It teaches you how to love more deeply, how to forgive more freely, how to sit with another's sorrow without needing to fix it. It gives you the gift of understanding. There is a strange alchemy in pain. The very thing that wounds you can also heal you. The heartbreak that seems to shatter your chest becomes the path to discovering your worth. The disappointment that leaves you empty makes space for something truer to enter your life. The failure that burns your pride teaches you humility, resilience, and the power of beginning again. Every form of pain has within it a seed of transformation, if only you are willing to search for it. It is not easy to trust pain. It arrives without explanation. It offers no timeline. It rarely feels fair. But what if, instead of fighting it, you leaned into it? What if, instead of asking, "Why me?" you asked, "What is this here to teach me?" In that question lies the key to transformation. Because pain does not leave you empty-handed. It always leaves behind a gift, strength, wisdom, empathy, resilience, or faith. It strips away what is temporary so that you can discover what is eternal. Think of the butterfly. Before it spreads its wings in beauty, it is confined in a cocoon. Inside that cocoon, there is struggle, pressure, breaking, pain. But without the struggle of pressing against that cocoon, its wings would never grow strong enough to fly. Pain is that cocoon. It presses you, confines you, challenges you. But in the pressing, you are developing wings. One day you will look back and realize that what once felt like suffocation was preparing you for flight. When you carry pain, you also carry the choice of what to make of it. You can allow it to harden you, to close your heart, to poison your joy, or you can allow it to open you, to deepen your wisdom, to sharpen your clarity. Pain has the power to transform you, but only if you let it. Only if you see it not as punishment, but as preparation. Every scar you carry is a testimony that pain did its work. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still capable of love. And that means the purpose of pain has already begun to unfold in your life. You may not see it clearly now. You may still be in the fire. But trust this, pain is not pointless. It is building something within you that nothing else could. One day, you will look back at what hurt you most, and you will see how it shaped you into someone you could never have become without it. You will see the resilience that bloomed in your spirit. You will see the compassion that grew in your heart. You will see the wisdom etched into your soul, and you will understand in a way you could not before that pain had a purpose all along. There are times in life when the noise of the world fades away, not because you wanted it to, but because the silence found you. It may come in the form of loneliness, when those you depended on turn their backs. It may come in the form of loss, when the person you love most is no longer by your side. It may come in the form of struggle when the doors remain closed no matter how hard you knock. Silence can be heavy, suffocating, even terrifying. It strips away the distractions, the comforts, the voices that once told you who you were. And yet, within that silence, strength is born. Many people fear silence. They fill it with chatter, with music, with endless activity, because to sit in silence is to face yourself. It is to confront the doubts, the wounds, the unanswered questions that echo in your chest. But if you are brave enough to stay, brave enough to breathe through the stillness, silence will become the womb of your greatest strength. It is in the absence of applause that true resilience is forged. It is when no one sees you fighting that your spirit learns how powerful it truly is. Think of the tree in the forest. Its roots do their strongest work in silence, hidden beneath the soil, unseen by any eye. The strength of the tree does not come from what is visible. It comes from the deep, quiet labor underground. The same is true for you. The roots of your strength are built in the hidden seasons, in the hours when no one is watching, in the tears that fall onto your pillow in the middle of the night. That unseen endurance, that silent perseverance is where your true strength is born. In silence, you learn patience. When nothing moves, when no answer arrives, you are taught how to wait. Waiting is not weakness. Waiting is the discipline of faith. It is the quiet courage to believe that though the night is long, the morning will come. Silence stretches you, but in the stretching, it also strengthens you. It teaches you to trust the unseen, to lean not on noise, but on an inner knowing that cannot be shaken. There will be times when you feel forgotten in your silence, as though life has overlooked you, as though your prayers have been lost in the wind. But you are not forgotten, you are being shaped. The cocoon of silence may feel like a prison, but within it you are forming wings. It may feel like stillness, but within that stillness transformation is taking place. The butterfly emerges only because of the silent work done in the cocoon. The same is true for your spirit. Strength born in silence is unlike any other. It is not loud, it does not boast, it does not need validation. It carries itself with quiet confidence, with dignity, with grace. When storms come again, that strength does not panic, it does not crumble. It knows how to endure because it has already survived the solitude, already stood in the stillness and learned how to hold its own weight. Silence has trained it, and silence has refined it. Sometimes silence comes in the form of rejection. The phone doesn't ring, the message never arrives, the opportunity passes you by. And though it hurts, rejection is another way silence teaches strength. It strips away the belief that you need the approval of others to keep moving forward. It forces you to walk your own path without applause, without confirmation, without company. And in that walk, you discover that you are enough, even alone. There is wisdom in silence, too. When the world is noisy, you cannot hear the still, small voice within you. But when everything quiets, you begin to notice the whispers of your own soul. You begin to sense the guidance of your spirit, the nudges of intuition, the clarity that only comes when the chaos has fallen away. Silence strengthens not only your body, but your mind and your heart. It teaches you to listen, not to the world, but to yourself. Strength is not only the ability to fight, it is also the ability to be still, to sit in the emptiness without rushing to fill it, to hold your own hand when no one else is there to hold it for you, to believe in your worth when the silence around you offers no confirmation. This is the kind of strength that cannot be taken from you, because it does not depend on others. It was forged in the sacred solitude where only you and your spirit reside. Do not mistake silence for abandonment. Some of the most powerful shifts in life happen quietly. Seeds break underground before flowers bloom in the sunlight. Babies grow in the hiddenness of the womb before they take their first breath of air. Strength grows the same way, in the quiet, in the hidden, in the places no one applauds. One day, the world will see the bloom, but only you and silence will know the cost of what it took to grow. When you come out of a season of silence, you carry something that no crowd can give you. You carry unshakable peace. You carry calm in the midst of storms. You carry the ability to stand alone and still feel whole. This is the kind of strength the world cannot take away because the world did not give it to you. It was given in the stillness, in the long nights, in the quiet prayers, in the moments when you thought you could not endure but did. So if you find yourself in silence now, do not run from it. Do not rush to fill it. Sit in it. Listen to it. Let it work in you. It may feel empty, but it is not. It is full of lessons, full of shaping, full of strength that is being born in ways you cannot yet see. And one day, when you step into the noise of the world again, you will carry with you a power that was born in silence, a strength that whispers louder than any shout, "I am still here. I am unbroken. I am strong." Struggle is not always the enemy we believe it to be. At first glance, it feels like confinement, like a weight pressing against the chest, like a door that refuses to open no matter how hard you pound on it. It feels like bondage, and in those moments, the heart cries out for freedom. But what we often do not see is that struggle itself is breaking chains. Chains we have carried for so long, we no longer notice their weight. Chains we inherited without question, chains of fear, doubt, and limitation that kept us small. Struggle arrives, and though it hurts, it is the hand that shatters the locks. There are chains made of fear, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of stepping outside the boundaries others have drawn for us. As long as life is comfortable, those fears remain hidden. They rattle softly, but we pretend not to hear them. Then struggle comes. The job is lost. The dream collapses. The betrayal cuts deep. Suddenly you are forced to confront the fears you could once ignore. You are pressed into places where you have no choice but to break through them. And in that breaking, freedom comes. You discover that what you feared could not actually hold you. You discover that the prison was never real. It was only a story you had accepted. There are chains of expectation, the heavy weight of living by the demands of others. Families, communities, societies, they all place labels, titles, and boxes around us. They say, this is who you must be. This is the path you must walk. This is the dream you are allowed to carry. We nod, we comply, we bend ourselves to fit, until struggle arrives. It shakes the foundation, it rattles the box, it strips away the illusions. Suddenly, you can no longer live by someone else's script, because that script does not sustain you in the fire. Struggle breaks those chains by forcing you to stand in your own truth, to claim your own life, to discover that your spirit was never meant to live caged. There are chains of comfort, perhaps the most deceptive of all. Comfort is sweet, but it can become a trap, lulling us into smallness. We stop reaching, stop stretching, stop daring, because comfort convinces us that safety is the goal. But life has a way of shaking comfort loose. Struggle sweeps in like a storm, and suddenly the easy life crumbles. At first it feels like ruin, but slowly you begin to see that struggle was prying open the door you would never have opened yourself. It was pushing you out of a cage you mistook for paradise. It was breaking the chains that held you back from the greatness you were meant to embody. Chains are not always made of fear or comfort. Sometimes they are made of pain itself. Old wounds, old betrayals, old traumas wrap around the soul like iron. We think we are moving freely, but the weight of those old injuries keeps us bound to the past. Struggle comes again, not to wound us further, but to bring those hidden chains to the surface. It forces us to face the grief, to acknowledge the anger, to feel the hurt we have long buried. And though it feels like reopening the wound, it is actually the beginning of release. Because you cannot break a chain you refuse to see. Struggle reveals it, and in the revealing, it begins to shatter. Freedom does not come in the absence of struggle. It comes through it. Think of a bird born in captivity. For years, it has lived in a cage, the door locked tight. Then one day, the storm shakes the cage loose. The bird panics at first, unused to the vastness of open air. The storm frightened it, but the storm was the very thing that freed it. The same is true of you. The struggle you curse may be the very force breaking open the prison you thought was permanent. It may be the storm that shakes the door off its hinges and calls you into the sky. Look back on your life and notice the patterns. How many times did struggle end up breaking chains you did not even know you carried? The heartbreak that seemed unbearable taught you to stop settling for less than you deserve. The failure that humiliated you showed you that your worth was not tied to success. The loss that hollowed you out taught you to love more fiercely, to cherish more deeply, to live with greater urgency. Struggle does not leave you empty-handed. It leaves you free, free from illusions, free from chains, free to become more fully yourself. There is a sacred courage born in those who have walked through struggle. They no longer fear the storms because they know the storms are not only destroyers, but liberators. They know that when everything falls apart, chains are breaking, even if the sound of them shattering is drowned out by the roar of the wind. They walk with a quiet strength, carrying the memory of what they endured and the freedom it brought. They are not naive to pain, but they are no longer owned by it. Struggle breaks chains, but it also teaches us how to live free. Because freedom is not just the absence of chains. It is the choice to keep walking unbound, to refuse to return to cages, to refuse to be tied again to what once enslaved you. That is the true power of struggle. It does not just rescue you once. It transforms you into someone who will never again tolerate captivity. Every time you rise from a struggle, you rise freer. Every time you endure the fire, you step out with lighter shoulders, with chains fallen behind you. You may not see it now while you are still in the storm, but trust this. The struggle is not here to destroy you. It is here to break the locks, to unbind your spirit, to set you on a path you never could have walked if you had remained confined. Struggle is breaking chains even as you breathe, even as you cry, even as you wonder if you can go on. One day, you will look back and see the broken pieces of every chain on the ground behind you, and you will know that the struggle did what nothing else could. It set you free. Resilience is not something you are born with fully formed. It is not handed to you as a gift. It is something that life builds within you, brick by brick, scar by scar, moment by moment. And the greatest builder of resilience is struggle. Without resistance, strength cannot grow. Without storms, roots cannot deepen. Without struggle, the spirit does not learn how to bend without breaking. Struggle is the teacher that does not ask permission to enter your life, but once it comes, it leaves behind a lesson that no book, no mentor, no gentle hand could ever provide. Resilience is the quiet power that allows you to stand again after life has knocked you down. It is the steady heartbeat that continues when everything around you falls apart. It is the refusal to give up, not because the road is easy, but because you have already endured enough to know that you will survive. Struggle births that resilience. Every hardship you have walked through has been a classroom. And though you may not have chosen to attend, you learned. You learned to carry pain and still move forward. You learned to face fear and still take the next step. You learned to fall and still rise. That is resilience. Think of the reed by the riverbank. The storm comes and mighty oaks may splinter, but the reed bends with the wind. It is not rigid, but it does not break. When the storm passes, it straightens again, still rooted, still alive. Resilience is like that reed. It does not mean you never bend under the weight of hardship. It means you know how to bend and then rise again. And the only way to gain that kind of strength is to endure the winds of struggle. Every tear you have cried, every night you have endured, every disappointment you have carried was not wasted. Each one was shaping you into someone more resilient. Each trial was teaching you not only how to survive, but how to thrive when others would have surrendered. This resilience is not loud. It is not always visible. It does not boast. It lives quietly in your bones, ready to rise when life tests you again. There will be moments when you think you cannot endure anymore, when the weight feels unbearable, and yet somehow you do endure. You wake up the next day, you breathe again, you take another step. That is resilience being born in real time. You may not notice it while it is happening because it does not arrive with fanfare. It arrives quietly in your ability to keep going when you wanted to quit. It arrives in the small victories, in the simple act of surviving one more day. Resilience also transforms the way you see the world.